So this video I will teach you how to use this blackboard. Now to the table. Play. Now those are the so this is a blackboard. Electric solder left blackboard BR102. This is a various types of blackboards is available in market. So basically what is a blackboard? A blackboard are circuit board which you can mount component by directly and without soldering you can use it as a prototyping. Without prototyping you may know if you try to solder a component on normal PCB first you can write PCB, or if you there's a time consuming, and also it's if you use a ready-made valve board, universal board, solder board. That's it. You also need a soldering. If you have soldered this thing, or your prototype project can sometimes success, or sometimes prototypes will be failed. Prototyping prototyping is a mainly typing main thing. Die or prototyping DIY meaning die yourself. These types of projects is always 50% chance to pass or 50% chance to fail, because if you have seen a project in internet you will try it yourself and it's not 100% guaranteed. Some projects are failed, some are passed. Most one is passed and most one is failed. So that's just if you use a normal regular circuit board or a valve board, you will need to solder them, tons of soldering. So if you consume too much time, because you can do a twice of soldering, or after your project is not success, your time also waste. Your soldering wire, how much your wire you can use to soldering it, soldering procedure, your wire also waste, time also waste, or power also waste, which power you can turn your soldering line is turned on. Due to save your own time, or instead we can use a soldering line directly with a soldering line. Most of the time it can burn skin and damage serious damages. So it prevents any damages in case of soldering. It is an easy way to first make a project in prototype in blackboard to make sure your project is working. If your project is working, then if you need a permanent project, for example, if you can lift your project, some miracle project, and lift your friend or give one to someone friend, or you can use some personal to sell your project, then you can make a project in permanent board. But if just like I made a videos for showing you anyone how you can make this circuit, it's only good idea to use this Titan backboard. It is save time for all. It is also easy. Anyone can do this, because if you use a soldering, then almost you can have a 5 to 10 year knowledge. Soldering iron using knowledge, because otherwise soldering iron can slip your hand and damage it. The soldering iron is a tool which tool if you are not used properly, it will burn your hand, burn your skin, or it is dangerous. So any sharp tool using it without any knowledge is extremely dangerous. So that's why there's a blackboard. Any 1 year or unexperienced people can use this, but little bit like the 5 to 6 months, of experience of using blackboards it can do. Although you cannot make a very dangerous circuits, it is also dangerous. Electricity is dangerous. Electricity is dangerous. Not low voltage dangerous, but still 12 volt. Low voltage dangerous, but still 12 volt, 1 or 2 amp maximum is safe for to handle everyone, I think. But I don't recommend. Now those are certain, but another thing is that you can use any circuit. Breadboard is no voltage, so you can use any voltage you can make. Circuit you can make by this. That's one more thing. And another advantage is that the advantage, if you can normally circuit board and use single time, so you can purchase a circuit board, a valve board, single piece. It works single time, but this case you can buy a board and use your lifetime. But there's a one twist behind. Which twist behind? Accidentally, if you use your breadboard wrong, you power source, meaning you cannot blow your breadboard, blow out your breadboard. That says you can use a single breadboard over your own life. Because one breadboard is then worth all the time if you are not blowing your breadboard. Or other advantage is that if you made a circuit with normal circuit board or weather board, solar board, so you can use component at once. This way you can also change the component, use them multiple times. But once in the project components use multiple times if you are not blowing your components. Meaning if you made a design of some circuit on and made a video and used it. In the later you need other project with same components. You can peel out the components to breadboard and reuse again. Instead, do market to buy new component. In the weather board or circuit board, you will solder the component. Although the component is not burnt out, you will need to desolder and solder back. This case, it may be broken the lead component, removing it, and you cannot use more further. Now tell how breadboards work. Basically, breadboards contain several holes, which are aligned horizontally, vertically. These horizontal holes, you can see my breadboard is a little bit old, so that's why the margin is less. Remove out negative, minus terminal negative. And this blue line is door to this, meaning this row, this is a horizontal row. This horizontal row, all the terminals pins is joined to the other, and other horizontal row, which is indicated by plus line, is joined to the other. Similarly, this processor pair is top side same. There is a one row horizontal shape in horizontal direction which contain this side to this side and there to there. So there are two patterns. So you can put at a time two voltages. So if you need two different voltages at same board, you can plug one voltage supply there and one there. And then it's those 5 pins by 5 pins. 5 vertically 5 is not up one pair. Let me once pause. Now I have some types of components. For example, this is IC. So first you can see when I place IC like that and price out, IC then fits top 4 pins and bottom 4 pins. This time my IC is 8 pin IC. In case more than 8 or less than 4 pins. So this contains it in bits 1, 2, 3. So not just fit it out one first. If you closely see, it can fit one row. Let me just for simplicity remove there. Place there. Place there. So you know pin number 1 is empty, pin number 2 empty on the breadboard, 3 is connected pin number 8 or 3, 4 is connected 7, 5 is connected 6, and breadboard is connected 5 is connected 4, and then similarly this process is inside. So you may know this all pins are energized them, meaning now breadboard also comes with these type of jumper. These are small pieces. It comes out a long wire solid cable. So it's termed with long solid cable rather than black. Right now I have black cable. So you can touch them in the wire length and flip out hand. And then if you also download the circuit, for example I made a joint pin number 8. So pin number 4. There's a pin number 4 and there's pin number 8. Now, and this in pin number 8 contain several holes like 1, 2, 3, 4 holes is eliminated out. I connect any one hole in between these 4 holes to the bottom row any hole, meaning this IC pin number 8 is contain 5 hole. 5 hole is same terminal. So one pin number is pin 3. So row number 3, all the terminals is some pin number at pin number 8. So no matter you can add hole number 1, hole number 2, 3 or 4, and similarly you can add a bottom terminal like the bottom row 1, 2, 3, 4. Bottom count the 4 pin number. I see 4 number pin is on the 4 row. So 4 row means contain similarly 4 holes. This 4 holes, so 4 holes contain same terminal. You can press like that. That's the way. And then if you need a positive to give the IC example, then you can use this wire pin number 8 row or any pin number which pin is IC positive pin, then in which row to any hole to the positive row, right here, something like that. Similarly, you can use multiple wires like that to join them. I mentioned when you connect the IC, keep in mind IC is such a way the notch facing left side. This is my left hand and notch facing your left hand side, and then place IC, I mean breadboard like that, and IC place middle in the breadboard, middle like this middle line. No matter you place air or air, I mean air. Now place between this column, I mean between this segment. Never place IC like that, because you may see this line, which line is this box type thing, which is this segment A, segment B. IC few bottom pins, no matter which pin, how many pins is bottom pin are facing to the bottom segment, top pin 14 on top segment. Never place IC both the terminals in the same segment, otherwise IC terminals it will be short. And never place IC like that, like opposite direction like that. If I cannot place like this way, it will not go inside. I see place left hand, this notch facing left hand, and if you closely I see, but camera cannot see this is IC too old, so IC contain number, any number. This is my and it's ND55 timer IC. Any IC first number is start which place is known as pin number 1 side. So always in this you may know starts left to right. So similarly you place IC left to right in middle of this. So this is a use of breadboard. So breadboard basically what I was only circuit board, there is no any component inside or special circuitry inside. There is just like a extension board. So you may know if you are open an extension board like your home 220 volt extension board, they same use bus bars, several bus bars arranged in such a way you can pair the switch and switch lengths at live, all the live common together, all the neutral common with bus bar and all the other terminals bus bar also common to the other bus bar. Similarly contain a bus bar inside. Now you can see I can one thing to that for this show. This is LED. So in case your there's two pin any component like the diode, resistor, diode, resistor, LED, Zener diode, or capacitor, you can like that way. With positive value is facing up one side properly, no positive which side and negative which side, place like that, vertically like that. So two pin component is placed like that, or even you can put it like, if you need to want to connect like that. Let me just let us do bend like that. Never connect like that. Never connect like that. Always connect these kind of components, two pin components properly. Also make sure or connect like this way, like row one pin is in one row and another pin to another row, or one bottom segment or one top segment, like that. And IC package is different package done. For this time, only sports, Bellboard and only sport SMD dual inline package. This package IC will be used in breadboard. If you have SMD transistor, SMD component, any kind of component, dual inline package or THT component is you are what in the breadboard. Normal any kind of SMD component will be not worth, not mount here in the breadboard. That's why we have made a first adapter, which adapter mount your breakout board or adapter which you mount SMD board, and then you can solder the component in your breakout board and breakout board plugged into a breadboard. The other option is now this is just anytime that's 2 pause.